How did I end up here? This would be a much more dramatic story if I'd slipped off a boulder or failed on a rim-to-rim hike, but none of that happened. On my most recent hike, I cut back the distance because of back pain. I planned an 18-mile hike for today, but my back is hurting and I don't want to be one of those fellows flying out on a helicopter, so I'm going to do a modest hike. From that point, I kind of slid downhill over 6 weeks until one evening I was sitting doing research for a video and I simply could not stand up without help. I didn't improve, so I went to urgent care where an x-ray reported cracks in 2 vertebrae. That really freaked me out. They put me on a handful of meds that helped a bit, and I went searching for more medical care. They said it would take 2 to 3 weeks for pain relief and 2 to 3 months for healing. 5 weeks have passed. I've seen an orthopedic specialist, had an MRI, and I've improved by maybe 60%. But I'm still not in great shape for hiking. Apparently, I was born with some spine issues, as well as some problems from wear and tear and aging. An MRI did not show the cracks, so who knows? A pinched nerve seems to be what's causing most of the pain. 6 days ago, I had some steroids injected at the site of the pinched nerve. Initially, that had me walking like Frankenstein, but it seems to be helping some. The doctor says I can resume activities as long as they don't cause pain. This is not the position I would like to be in. I mean, I like to act on my environment, not have my environment act on me. Needing assistance to stand up, to get out of bed, and to get off the toilet was humbling for me. I'm self-sufficient again, but it's led me to question what degree of dependency I would accept, and at what point would I choose not to go on. I made a video about the go-go, slow-go, and no-go years, and I have to wonder if this is a demarcation point between my go-go and slow-go years. I mean, I've done headstands as part of my morning stretching routine for more than 50 years. With this injury, I've given them up, likely permanently. I think I've made peace with mortality, but contemplating the possibility of a period of disability between now and then is sobering. And I guess when it rains, it pours when it comes to health issues. Along with the back issue, I just had a positive Cologuard test. Now, I've had colon cancer 8.5 years ago, so I understand the implications. They claim the test is 92% accurate in predicting colon cancer. It could be a false positive or just some polyps, but I expect there's at least a 50% chance that I have a cancer recurrence, which would certainly limit my lifespan. These things weigh heavily on my mind. An upcoming colonoscopy will give me additional information about the chance of a cancer recurrence. The results could be a reprieve or a death sentence. But I don't just want to sit around ruminating. So in the interim, I've come back to the Grand Canyon and I'm hoping to distract myself with a good visit and a hike, a comeback from the crash and the emergency care visit. When you fall off a bicycle, sometimes it's best to get back up and ride it again. And there's a certain symmetry to this. I started hiking Grand Canyon for relief when I was on chemo, and here I am facing the specter of cancer again. And a quick comment about YouTube. There's a saying, no one on their deathbed ever wished they'd worked more. And I'm going to update that to say, no one wished they made more YouTube videos. I hope you'll understand that intervening issues have caused me to step back from YouTube a bit. So here we are, one of my favorite places on earth, Grand Canyon. I plan to hike tomorrow and see how far I can go. But my period of inactivity has reduced my ability, so the adventure on this hike will be whether I can make it to the river and back. Absent disaster, I'll just provide some views of the beauty along the way. I love this hike. If I succeed, I have a dinner reservation at the fancy El Tovar restaurant. I've always said, living well is the best revenge. We've made it to the Colorado River. The hike is half over, and all that I have to do now is make it all the way back up to the top. It's been a painfully slow hike, probably the first hike of my slow-go years. Between the careful foot placements so I don't twinge the pinched nerve in my back and being out of physical condition, it's been very slow going. But nonetheless, goal accomplished, and hopefully make it back to the top for a delicious dinner. Oh, oh boy. The colonoscopy was a reprieve, not a death sentence. Just a few polyps, no tumor, no cancer recurrence. So maybe I'll have time to make a few more YouTube videos. But more importantly, it gives me a renewed appreciation of the quiet joys of life, the grays of the pre-dawn, the beauty of nature, the kindness of friends and loved ones, and the pleasure of a well-prepared meal. And I vow to hike as much as I can for as long as I can, despite the challenges. I'll wrap this up now and perhaps see you somewhere down the road. Thank you for watching.